Hello, hello. My computer's frozen. There we are. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Excited to have you all joining today. We will wait another 60 seconds or so before getting started. Let some final people kind of trickle in. Always excited to hear from you all saying hello. Let us know where you're joining from in the chat on the right-hand side of your screen. And yeah, we'll get started in just another minute or two.
I don't see the chat on mine.
There should be a button in your top right corner that looks like an eye with an arrow, and
Yeah,
like the letter I.
I don't have anything up in the right-hand corner.
Are you looking at your presentation or at the live storm?
At my presentation.
Yeah, that's why. If you go to the browser with the video in it, you should be able to see it there. Hello, hello, welcome. Ricky, I can read it out loud to you, no worries. And we'll figure out again how to get it easy on your screen.
Sounds good.
Cool. Awesome. Well, should we get started?
Let me get back to where I was.
Totally. Go ahead and reshare that presentation as well. Can't quite see it yet. There it is. Perfect. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get started. It's just about 2 minutes after the hour again. Hello and welcome. My name is Heather Grant. I'm one of the community admins here at the Maintenance Community by Upkeep. If you are not already a member of our Slack community, we would love to have you join us. We will send through the link in the chat on how to sign up shortly. Today we have Ricky Smith joining us. Ricky is our expert in residence at the Maintenance Community Slack, meaning he puts on one webinar just like this every week for all of our members. He is also available to answer questions live in the Slack group. So please feel free to go in there, submit some questions, interact with Ricky a bit, and invite anyone else who might benefit from some more of Ricky's expertise as well. The recording from today's session will go live in the Slack community tomorrow, as well as all of the slides you see here today. So again, make sure you join to check out the replay, as well as more of Ricky's expertise. One final note of housekeeping before we get started. You'll notice that Ricky and I are the only ones with our cameras and microphones turned on today. For anyone else who is interested in submitting a question, asking or answering something of Ricky's, please use the chat on the right-hand side of your screen there. You can submit your questions and we'll be sure to have some time set aside at the end to answer them. Let me know if anything else comes up throughout the presentation, if you can't see or hear or something else weird is happening, and we'll be sure to troubleshoot quickly. Again, submitting questions all throughout the presentation. We'll take some time at the end to answer those. And thank you again for joining. I will hand it over to you, Ricky.
All right, thank you. So today's presentation is preparing for maintenance certification. Just some tips and tricks that hopefully will help you. You know, in this, I'm going to talk a little bit about the CMRT, the SMRP Certified Maintenance and Reliability Technician, and Certified Maintenance and Reliability Professional, CMRP, and the Certified Professional Maintenance Manager and Certified Reliability Leader. First, I want to tell you about this career development affair coming up February 23rd. It's 3 days of live events with a lot of giveaways, helpful resources, all 100% free. I like free. If you're interested in building your career or finding new ways to up-level your skills, join the maintenance community on Slack to gain access to our live panels and virtual industry boost workshops and more. All professionals are welcome to RSVP. You know, and if you wouldn't mind, Heather, send this link to them to register for that.
I'll add it in the chat.
Yeah. We'll be releasing a full schedule of events for February 11th, as well, sneak peeks and giveaways leading to the event. So be sure to join the maintenance community day to get all of it. And to join it, the maintenance community, okay, you can just use the same RSVP form on the event. All right. So let's get started. This webinar is hosted by Upkeep CMMS. I appreciate Upkeep for, hosting these programs for me. The whole thing about, the maintenance community is learn more about this, not just the CMRP exam, but CMRT exam. Network with maintenance and reliability professionals, hear about news, job openings, engage in discussions with industry experts. So join today. It's pretty easy. Up HTTPS, at upkeep.org. All right, we're going to take a pre-test first. All right, I know everybody's excited about this. So what I want you to do, we're going to take 5 minutes. I bet, yeah, let's just see how long it takes, okay? There's there's 10 questions, okay, in this one. Okay. Yeah, we can do this. All right. Got 5 minutes. Let's do it. Just give us a thumbs up when you're finished.
Ricky, I think somebody's having trouble reading the content on the slides. Do you have a document that I could send through, or maybe if we can?
So one person's having it or multiple people?
So far, just one.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. But I'll send you the guide after this, Heather, and you can send a guide to everybody. It's the CMRP candidate guide for certification, recertification. These questions are on there, so it can help them understand it.
Yeah, here, I'm going to take a screenshot and send through the file. Maybe you can zoom in on that and it'll be helpful.
Good idea.
What about solutions here? Just about 1 more.
All right.
Ricky, we got a couple of thumbs up, and I think we've had just about 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Let's see how you did. Score yourself. There's only 1 through 10 on this, so don't worry about 11 through 15. Just see how you did. Give us, just text in what percentage did you get correct? Just text it. Be honest now.
We have 70% and 80%. We have someone with 50%. There were only 10 questions on display. That's right. So just scoring numbers 1 through 10 here. We got somebody with 70%. %.
That's good.
Yeah.
So in the CMRP example, you got 1.7 minutes per question. Okay. So don't let it, be scared or whatever. It's not 1.7 minutes. It is a good bit of time. You felt like you just did 10. You did it in less than 1.7 minutes per question. Okay. What I recommend everybody, if you look at the source of the example, CMRP exam, you can download this document free. You don't have to be a member of SMRP. You can just Google it, CMRP Candidate Guide for Certification, Recertification. Has a lot of information in there, but it has more questions in there what you see. All right, good job. So why would I want to attain a maintenance certification? Well, one of them could be to validate your knowledge and experience in a specific maintenance field, to assist in attaining a maintenance position at a specific organization. So there's a position open, and maybe this might help you get that other position that you want at another organization to move up to that next level in a higher level position. So take that next step. So if let's say you're a maintenance supervisor, you want to become a maintenance manager, the certification I think personally will help you take that next step. An example, maintenance technician to supervisor, maintenance supervisor, maintenance manager. Another is to feel pride in your position. You can feel pride as a technician or maintenance manager or whoever. And then add confidence in your current position. I tell you, when I took the CMRP in 2007, I thought I blew it. I didn't, thank goodness. I was lucky, and but it did give me confidence. It did. So things you need to know before you take any maintenance certification. Just some things that I'm just throwing it out there. Cost versus benefit. So the cost of it versus the benefit of the certification. And I can tell you, and the CMRP and CMRT, it's well worth the value of it. Recertification costs, got to know how much that because it's not just the certification, but the recertification costs. So every 3 years you have to recertify. So and the recertification criteria. So the cost of recertification, which is low, but the recertification criteria, training is required, cost, the frequency of it, and then any additional criteria. So before you take any certification, make sure you think about this. Think about the things that you probably need to know before you spend the money and spend the energy, focusing on the certification. Conferences to attend. Some of the conferences, most certification, you get certain points, okay, of CEUs. So what they ask you to do is go to conferences. Okay, so conferences are good ones. Go to training. Like in my training, everybody gets CEUs in any of my training courses to help them, and so on. So some types of maintenance certification: CMRP, Certified Maintenance and Reliability Professional. The CMRP is a certification exam, is the leading, credential for validated knowledge and skills related to maintenance, reliability, and physical asset management. The CMRT, or Certified Maintenance and Reliability Technician. So the Certified Maintenance and Reliability Technician program is the leading credentialing program for knowledge, skills, and ability of maintenance and reliability technicians. CAMA, these are all SMRP, okay? Certified Asset Management Assessor. Program was developed by SMRP and with several international partners to assess individuals' qualification to be an auditor of asset management systems, to be able to audit, go in and look at, your maintenance process, to assess it. CRL, Certified Reliability Leader. I am a CRL also. In fact, I was one of the first people to take the exam. The Certified Reliability Leader focuses on whole life cycle, life asset reliability decisions, and whole life value delivered through leadership. The system provides guidance and is a map of theory to engage and empower every stakeholder in your organization as a reliability leader. CPMM, Certified Plant Maintenance Manager. This credential is designed to validate a certified person possesses the professional expertise and knowledge required to successfully perform plant and facility supervisory activities. And then the FMP, Facility Management Professional, is offered it by the International Facility Management Association. It includes course materials on operation maintenance, project management, finance, leadership. Candidate complete the program with 5 final exams. So it's 4 final exams on this one. All the rest of them are 1. CFM, Certified Facility Manager, another credential offered by, IFMA. The CFM designation centers around on experimental competence rather than the mastery of course materials. The final examination consists of 100 multiple choice questions covering various competency areas, including maintenance, human factors, communication, risk management, sustainability. So some requirements for maintenance certification. So the CMRP, what's the requirement? Okay, it's available to any maintenance and reliability professional, regardless of educational background or work experience. But I have to say one thing. There are CMRPs that are salespeople. But when we say maintenance and reliability professional, you could be in multiple things. If you work in the maintenance and reliability realm, CMRP is a great one to have. Candidates interested in sitting an exam must complete and submit the application. Pay all applicable fees in advance. Have not sit for the exam for another. In fact, if you've taken the exam within the past 6 months, you can't take it again. Okay, but if you didn't pass it, you got 6 months, you can take it again. This Canada Guide I mentioned earlier, CMRP Canada Guide for certification, recertification found under CMRP Exam Study Resources tab contains more information about the exam and eligibility requirement. Basically anybody can take the CMRP. They're not going to push you back, because why are you taking it? If you're going to take it, it means you have some type of desire in the maintenance and reliability field. You study the body of knowledge. Everything on the CMRP is around what they call the body of knowledge. Now it gets into what the body of knowledge, what the SMRP says, it gets a lot bigger, when you get into the details of what the body of knowledge is. Study maintenance and reliability best practices. You have to have knowledge of maintenance and reliability best practices. That's why I've had salespeople say, how do I pass the exam? Because even though you're in sales, you've never been a practitioner, you've been around a lot of maintenance people, you learn a lot of things, and you probably studied well. CMRT, Certified Maintenance and Reliability Technicians. I was one of the first people to take this exam. No educational experiences or other requirements. Complete the application form, payment of applicable fees in advance. This is the only different one. No conviction of a felony or a crime of moral turpitude under international, national, federal, or state law in any manner related to the practice or qualification for professional activity. No one's going to check you out. I can tell you that. Certified reliability leader. You prepare by studying the certified reliability body of knowledge, and then prepare by studying this. Have a course, certified reliability leader at Uptime Elements Academy online learning management system. So you go on there and you take the course online, and then prepare by attending it. Once you finish this, you have to attend a certified reliability workshop at the end of that, and then submit a CRL exam registration form. Receive a passing score on a proctored CRL exam. CPMM, Certified Plant Maintenance Manager. An employment verification form needs to be completed by your employer based on your employment history and eligibility. See, all of these are a little bit different. Okay, it's not tight, it's not real strict. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about all the stuff you have. The thing you got to know is, what knowledge do I need to have in order to pass that certification? That's all you really need to worry about. Okay. So criteria for taking a certification exam. All maintenance certifications have different criteria. So, identify the criteria of the exam. An example, the CMRP. CMRP is available to any maintenance and reliability professional, regardless of education background or experience. I mentioned that you don't have to have work experience, and you don't even have to have graduated high school, because some people have it, but they're very smart. Candidates interested in sitting for an exam must complete and submit CMRP application, pay all applicable fees in advance. You're not going to take the test, I promise you, without that. Have not sit for the exam in the past 6 months. And then the CMRP candidate guide I mentioned before contains more information about the exam and eligibility. Study and know the SMRP body of knowledge and SMRP metrics. Exam fees here, $300. So for SMRP members, it's $300. With the SMRP membership, so $300 for members. Then with the SMRP membership of $170, that means it's $470. Sustaining sponsor or U.S. veteran, $250. So you get $50 off. Non-members, $470. I don't know if anybody's ever taken it that wasn't a member. Okay. So now the tips and tricks. Okay. Number one, understand the foundational elements of the certification. So I'm using the CMRP as an example. The key elements of CMRP's mission, or SMRP's mission, are the improvement of maintenance and reliability professions in supporting the education, maintenance, and reliability practitioners. That's through the 2 certifications. Well, really the 3, but CMRP, CMRT, and CAMA. From the first days of SMRP, it was clear that there were no consistent, well-defined standards for the SMRP body of knowledge and capabilities that the maintenance and reliability professionals should be effective. So that's why the SMRP body of knowledge was trying to pull this knowledge together, that most maintenance and reliability professionals will fall within this realm. Further, there's no way to differentiate those who have mastered the various elements of excellence from those who simply hold a job. So, this whole thing about the CMRP is all about, passing the exam, feeling confident that you are a CMRP, and don't let it down if you don't pass it. SMRP realized that without a well-defined body of capabilities and a method of assessment, it could not realistically fulfill all the elements of our mission. The mission was to educate maintenance and reliability professionals and improve them. Improving the profession requires a standard of excellence and an incentive to attain the standard. Maintenance and reliability managers are often promoted because of technical skills without regard for their ability to improve work processes, create change, or manage people. This is the biggest one I see. Okay. So the elements, maintenance and reliability managers are often promoted because of technical skill without regard for their ability to improve work process. When I say work process, I mean talking about maintenance and reliability work process, create change, or manage people. SMRP believes that maintenance and reliability practitioners need greater stature and credibility in their organizations and industry to be heard. Believe me, when you're a CMRP, people listen to your CMRT. We believe the message of maintenance and reliability adding value is often drowned out by day-to-day production demands. We know that. Okay. All right. So tricks number 2, study with the right information. Okay. Study with the information required for the exam. Do not think you know the answers to any exam. 2 hours a night for X amount of days. So if you're going to take any exam, you need to think about it. What do I need? Okay, what information required that I have to know? What's the right information? Study it. And then what's information? Because most exams will tell you what information is required. Okay. Don't think you know the answers to any exam. 2 hours a night, again, by X number of days. Now, these have to do with the CMRP's recommended study materials. The guide to maintenance and reliability body of knowledge, you have to be a member to download it. SMRP best practices, yes, you have to be a member to do that. The global maintenance and reliability indicators, yes, you have to be a member. The best practice metrics, yes, you have to be a member. There's 3 of them on here that you don't. Free on the internet, or you can go to my website, worldclassmaintenance.org, and download these for free. It's the GFMAM competency specification for ISO 55001. Okay, it has to do with the asset management system auditor and assessor. The other one was the IAM, competencies framework. Again, it's one you got to know. Okay, don't ask me why. When you want to take it, you'll understand it. Okay, because it does give you the realm of thinking about how do we deal with the people side? How do we deal with the ability for us to understand, how all the other elements kind of mashed together. Okay. And then the engineering reliability. Okay. Fault freeze and reliability, block diagrams. This is the good one. This one is one you will see. I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability you'll see this one on the exam as well. Study in a group if possible. And if you're going to take an exam, I think you need to study in a group. Enlist others to take the exam with you. Say, hey, Juan, Muhammad, Ricky, whatever their name is, why don't we sit down 2 hours a week and that's study for it. So in 3 months, we feel like we can pass this exam, whatever. Okay. So all of these I recommend for the CMRP. Okay. All right. Purchase a book on best practices and take the practice exams in each book. Okay. One is Ramesh Galati's book, Maintenance and Reliability Best Practices. Listen, if you're going to take the CMRP, I highly recommend you buy the book. I don't get anything from Ramesh. Okay. I helped him write some of the chapters. I don't get any money from the book, but I'm telling you, you need to read this book. In it, it has, I forgot how many, 300 questions or something in the book, practice questions. But if you miss the questions, that shows you where to go to in the book to find the answer, which makes it much easier. Okay. CMRT certification. I recommend my book at Keith Mobley's Industrial Machinery Repair. Again, it has questions in it. In fact, this year, excuse me, the last part of last year, I think it was in December, I was involved in writing new test questions for the CMRT. I wrote 30 there in the CMRT exam. There was a lot of questions in the exam, but they asked me to participate, and I did. But this industrial machinery repair is a great book to use for that. And it also has questions for each chapter. And you can go back in the chapter on ones that you missed to study. Believe me, these two books will help you a lot. Okay. The CRL, Certified Reliability Leader, Complete Body of Knowledge. Okay. You can buy it on the internet, not complicated. Okay. But there's more to it than that. You got to do this, and you also have to do other things with the CRL. Okay. So you have to take a class. CPMM, Certified Professional Maintenance Manager Review Pack. I took this certification years ago. I didn't keep it up. I still am a CRL, CMRT, CMRP, but the CPMM, it has no correlation to these other exams. Okay. But it's a good exam. But if I had a choice, I'd take the CMRP. Okay. Okay. So this is tips and tricks number 4, attend training. Okay. I recommend you take a class, CMRP certification. So for the CMRP certification, maintenance best practices and SMRP body of knowledge training. Now, I happen to have a class coming up, and I've taught a lot of these classes, but I have my own now, and it's coming up in April. Attend SMRP monthly webinars. You must be a member to attend these training sessions. Every month they have a session. So if you join SMRP ahead of time, then you can go through these webinars every month. And like there was one this past month in January on the SMRP body of knowledge. It's only 30 minutes to an hour. That's all it is. It's not in depth like the first one I'm talking about. Maintenance best practices, SMRP body of knowledge training. CMRT certification, best maintenance technician practices training. Okay. That one's coming up this month for me. Certified reliability certification. You got to go to you have to attend a certified reliability leader workshop. I think you can do this online. Okay. All my classes are online and in person. Okay. CPMM, you got to attend the certified plant maintenance manager workshop. I know that's virtual also. All right. So tips and tricks number 5, 4 weeks and the night before exam recommendations. So 4 weeks out and the night before. Okay. 4 weeks before. Join the organization who sponsors the exam, SMRP, AFE, AMP, etc. Begin studying all the information each exam will cover. 8 nights. This is just, I'm just giving you my 2 cents worth, 2 hours each night. Don't sit there for 4 hours and 8 hours and so on. Break it out over time. Make sure if you got kids, put them in front of the TV, let them play some video games or whatever, so you can study. Okay. Follow my recommendations in this slide presentation. The night before, do not drink excessive alcohol the night before. Not smart. Get at least 6 hours sleep. Okay. These things, I have one of my degrees in trades and industrial education. One of the things I learned was if you're going to take an exam, and all these come from not just from my practical experience, but also from my knowledge that I gained at the University of Georgia, that just drinking before the night, even one drink before, you might get by. One drink may be okay, but after that, I would not do it because these questions come fast. You got to answer them fast, okay? And get at least 6 hours of sleep. I wouldn't get excessive sleep. Whatever your normal sleep pattern is fine. Here's tips and tricks number 6, things not to do, okay? Purchase CMRP or CMRT practice exam. It's a waste of money. They've got them on the internet, practice exam. You got an app, this. I've looked at all of them. Okay, I've looked at all of them. It's a waste of your money. I promise you, it's a waste of your money. Decide you do not need to study. Examples of study material, SMRP body of knowledge. Must be a SMRP member to download. So, one of the things not to do, okay, is that decide you do not need to study. Okay. That means you're going to have to be a member to get the SMRP body of knowledge. If not, you can attend one of these classes on maintenance best practices, SMRP body of knowledge, and you can do it there. SMRP best practices. You must be an SMRP member to download. Okay. And then metrics, the same thing. Okay. All right. So I know I've gone through these tips and tricks pretty fast, but what are your questions now? Why don't you text them in? So by the way, there's 2 classes coming up. I mentioned best maintenance technician classes, February 23rd, 25th, and then the SMRP body of knowledge and maintenance best practices, April 27th and 29th. You can email me and I'll send you the information, whatever you want. All right. What are your questions?
Go ahead and submit any questions that we have in the chat there on the right-hand side of your screens. Ricky, I have one question just for maybe a point of clarification for myself. Those practice tests that you showed and that exist out there, none of those are identical to a CMRP or anything. They're just similar style questions to get you in the mindset. Is that right?
They probably did come from a CMRP exam. I can't say that for sure because I don't know.
Right.
But this, if you practice with these, it'll help you. But don't buy exams online because it will not be the same way. And one of the things about these tests, you say, okay, how much time I have? 1.7 minutes. Okay. Do I have to get, what percentage do I need to get correct? I don't know, because typically the way tests work is that some questions are more difficult than others. Okay. So the difficulty, complexity of question goes into Q. And another part of it is what percentage of people did not pass that answer. I mean, that question. So that question, very few people do. The question may stay in there, but you won't get dinged for it. Okay. The computer does that with an algorithm.
Interesting. We have a couple of questions coming in here. Where are there available resources for good mock tests, do you think? Probably free ones that you don't have to pay for, just tests.
I tell you, Ramesh Galati book, Maintenance and Reliability Best Practices, is the best one. There's a lot, 300 questions in there. And if you're going to take the CMRP, if you're going to take the CMRT, then, in my book, it's probably the best one to go to. And that's industrial machinery repair, like I mentioned earlier.
Awesome.
By the way, I want to say this.
Go ahead.
People think you make money on books. I haven't got my return on my investment for my books yet. I've sold a lot of books, but I tell you, if you write a book, you think you're going to get rich, it ain't going to happen. I did not do that. I did it because I want to share information with others.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Another question here is the book 10 Rights of Asset Management good for the test? Are you familiar with that one?
I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it. The problem is there's a lot of books on maintenance and reliability, and if you start doing the ones that aren't necessarily recommended, it could throw a curve on you because of the way the questions are written and all.
Awesome.
If they're related, let me back up here. If they're related to anything to do with like the SMRP body of knowledge, best practices, there's a lot of people got different ideas of what best practices are. I would follow this information that I've got right here for you. This is what you need to follow. All right, what else?
Oh, Ricky, it's by Ramesh Gulati as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ramesh Gulati's book is the best for the CMRP.
Awesome. Another question here, what is generally the pass percentage of test-taking candidates? I think probably for the CMRP, that question is meant.
Yeah, it has, but it doesn't matter. It's all tests are the same way. It has to do with the complexity of the question, but it gets a score. Like, let's just say 1 to 10, 10 being very difficult. So if it's a complex question, it'll be a 10. So the algorithm, when the tests are put in, the answers are that come out and say which ones do you pass. So it's not like you got to pass out of 100 questions, you got to pass 90 or 80 or whatever. It depends on the complexity of the question, but it also has to do with the number of people, the percentage of people that have answered that question correctly. It means it may be too difficult. They're still going to have it in there, but it's thrown out. That's typically the way it works. I can't say it for sure with SMRP.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look in their computer to see it.
Awesome. For this body of knowledge course, seats are each $750 per person. Is that right?
No, this was different. If you don't take the exam, it is. But if you take the exam, then it's more.
Oh, awesome.
I can send a brochure to them.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So if you want it, just send me an email, R. Smith, and I'll be glad to share the brochure with you.
Perfect.
And it tells you options. You don't have, like Ramesh Gulati's book, that's for people. I give them a book, a copy of his book, if they're going to take the CMRP exam. If they're just taking it for best practices, they won't need it. The price is lower.
Perfect.
So his book is expensive.
Awesome. Looking through here, if there's any other questions.
Let me say one thing about the CMRP and the CMRT. There are 5,000 test centers around the world. So no matter where you live in the world, you can take the CMRP and CMRT. And anybody that goes through training with me, wherever they're located, I'll give them the closest center. The last place I taught this class, the best practice SMRP body of knowledge, the test center, believe it or not, was just about a 5-minute walk from where I was teaching the class. And so it was pretty incredible.
That's wonderful. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, I think I got all of the ones in the chat. So if there's no other questions, I think that'll wrap up our presentation for today. Any final thoughts, Ricky?
Nope. Just
Awesome.
Follow some of my guidelines, some of my guide, and good luck. If you need anything, if you got questions about any of it, just send me an email. I'll be glad to talk to you about it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ricky, and thank you everyone for joining today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Ricky. Bye.